What's up, surf fans? This is Ted Indo with another edition of the EpicTV Surf Report. Last week I was watching a preview on the internet for a movie called Thundercloud. It's about the historic June 8th, 2012 swell that hit Cloudbreak and ended up being one of the best big wave surfing sessions that's ever been captured. Now, usually with these films, you sort of know what you're gonna get. It's generally guys with necks that are gigantic talking about how gnarly their last wipeout was. That's fine, it's okay. But to be honest, I think we've all heard the phrase, "there was a lot of water moving out on the reef," far too many times now. So that's what I was expecting, more or less. And for the first minute or so, that's more or less what I got. But then, around the minute 30 mark, the movie maker, Talon Clemo, which yes is his real name, threw in two separate clips. One of them was from Shane Dorian and the other one was from Greg Long. In the clips, Dorian and Long actually seem to be disagreeing about something.
The public, unless you're actually staying there on the resort there at Tavarua, you didn't have access to Cloudbreak, and that's always what deterred me. For all the years prior, just you never had that opportunity to go there, or I guess the desire to pay that much money to stay there.
The exclusivity, a lot of people saw it as a negative thing, but it really didn't exclude anybody. You had to stay on Tavarua.
Now, anyone who watches a lot of surf films knows that well-known surfers have a well-known aversion to having opinions deeper than being stoked and or super stoked on something. So to see two big wave luminaries actually have differing opinions was pretty impressive. So what topic could actually be so divisive that two well-known surfers say different things about it? Well, naturally, it was the deprivatization of the Tavarua Surf Resort. For those of you who are unaware or maybe have forgotten, Tavarua Island Resort used to have exclusive rights over Cloudbreak. What that meant was that only guests of the resort or employees could surf the wave whenever they wanted. Unpaying surfers or Fijians from other islands couldn't surf the wave unless it was on Saturdays when the guests would turn over at the resort. Opinions were historically very divided over the decree that allowed Tavarua to use the Cloudbreak like this. Some people thought it was protecting one of the last great uncrowded surf breaks. Other people thought it was a form of neo-colonial apartheid that not only kept unmoneyed and unsponsored surfers off the wave, but it deprived local Fijians of one of their crown jewels of surfing. A 2006 coup brought a change to the government, and it was that new government that then decreed in 2010 that Tavarua Island Resort could no longer have exclusive rights over Cloudbreak. A lot of the old guard at the time bemoaned the loss of one of surfing's great nirvanas, but personally, I thought it was a pretty sound civil rights move. Obviously, the wave exists in Fiji. Therefore, local Fijians should be allowed to ride it whenever they want. But what neither of us knew at the time was that it actually was paving the way for the session that went down in 2012. The reason being was that a lot of foreign surfers either didn't have the money or didn't want to pay the money to stay at the resort. So by opening up the wave, all of a sudden guys like Long didn't have to pay, and all these guys could fly in and surf in this session without having to have tons of money to do it. My favorite part about all of this, though, is that what it means is that the decree of a small-time island dictator actually was partially responsible for one of the most incredible sessions that's ever been recorded in surfing history. How's that for your obscure history? Of course, right now some of this is just conjecture because the film has not been finished. Clemo's crowdsourcing the project, and he still needs some money. Personally, I want to see him get this made because I think the history of Tavarua shows us not only where we've been as a culture, but where we're going. So if you have some time and some extra money, pop over to the Thundercloud website at possible.com and donate a little bit if you can. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and if you have any opinions about the deprivatization of Tavarua, crowdsourcing, or movies in general, please leave them at the bottom of the page. Let's be real. In the world of commercial surfing today, there is no one on a lower rung than female longboarders.